Babe, okay, before we get into this episode, I created something for you. It is a PDF that you can just click over to. Nothing you have to like download or anything. It's just literally a link. You can sign up for it. It's totally free. And it is a massive list of, first of all, like everything that I say in this episode, everything that's really good, it's juicy that you're going to want to know and like remember. But because I'm doing this thing like in my 37th year of life, and we're talking about all these lessons that I've learned and all these things, and there's also a list of resources that go along with the lessons that I'm talking about, resources, book recommendations. And then I also went and had fun and just did like a whole like Allie's favorite products list of recommendations and just like lip oils and body suits that I love, my favorite jeans, like just favorite things and favorite like everything, just resources that came to mind that in the last couple years I've just they're my favorite. So it's just really fun. It's just a free resource. It ended up just being like this like big life coaching resource recommendation massive list of links and you're gonna love it. So you can go and get that at alliecasazza.com/37 things. Let's get into the episode. Hello, hello, my loves. Welcome back to the Purpose Show podcast. I'm so truly happy and blessed and grateful to be here with you today. Thank you guys so much for being here. Like, honestly, thank you for being a listener, especially those of you who've been listening for a while and are loyal followers, loyal listeners. And thank you for making the comeback of the Purpose Show such a big deal. All of the shares have led to new followers, new listeners, new reviews. Thank you so, so much. Please know that reviews are everything for podcasters. And if you would just take a second and go on whatever app you listen to the podcast on, especially if it is iTunes, and just leave a positive review. There are so many voices out there, and usually the negatives are the loudest. On my show, there's so much positive, and I'm really grateful, but it is everything. It is literally the lifeblood of a podcast. So I would so appreciate if you would do that. And thank you so much. I love you. Let's get into today's content. So, in April, I turned 37 years old. And when on that day, I was feeling very reflective. And I always take my birthday as kind of a big deal. It's like another New Year's for me. It's a big day. I look back, I look forward. I get very reflective. I like to grab my journal and just write some things out. And I felt really inspired to make a list of 37 things I've learned in my 37 years of life. And I ended up emailing that list to everyone on my email list. And the response was so huge, so positive. And the most common reply I got was, could you turn this into a podcast episode? So that's what we're going to do. 37 things I've learned in my 37 years of life. And I'm almost going to give like very little to no explanation, but I will expand a little bit because it's the podcast and that's what we're here to do. So let's get into it. 37 things in 37 years of life. Number one, I've learned that people view you through the lens of their own perspective, their own beliefs, their own opinions, and their own story about you. And that is none of your business. It's not your responsibility to carry or care about. Basically, that is just like freedom, freedom to never take anything personally, freedom to just exist and be and know it's not my problem. It's not my business. It's not my responsibility. And just let them, let them think what they're going to think. Let them have their stories. We all do. Um, just let them and go live your life and enjoy. Number two, religion is designed to control, but God is love, and love is not controlling. Number three, kids just want your attention. It's really that simple. And that leads me to number four. If they don't get your positive attention on a regular basis, then they will unconsciously do something to receive negative attention instead. This is, I mean, I feel like this is like really common parenting advice, but I mean, this is just really sunk in for me this past year. And it really just simplifies being a mom and spending time with my kids. And you don't need to give them all of your attention. You don't need to give them a ton, but you do need to just like every day give them a little bit of positive attention and it just fills them up. So it's like their attention cup. You want it to be full. And to fill it up only takes a few minutes. And that's relief for a parent. But then also like, if they do something negative, like they're almost always just wanting attention. And I just think that simplifies like the whole thing. Number 5, jealousy is the most helpful emotion. Jealousy is my favorite emotion because I don't feel it often, but when I used to. I don't feel it often anymore, but when I do feel it, it is telling me something that I desire. And more than that, it's telling me that there's something I desire that I think I can't have or believe I'm not worthy of. So I feel jealous of the person that is having it because of that. So it's clarity. It's an understanding of what I really want. It's information about myself that I am excited to get and can use to grow and improve myself and improve my quality of life. So it's all just information. I no longer am in the low vibration of sitting there and just stewing and like, oh, all she does is go on trips. Like all she does is talk about skincare. All she does is whatever. Like, well, I obviously really want to take a trip. Well, I obviously really want to put more time into my skincare and I feel jealous that this person maybe doesn't have kids and is doing all this stuff, but it's really what I want. So, jealousy is the most helpful emotion and can teach you the most about yourself, in my opinion. Number 6, he doesn't care if you've shaved. He's just happy to be there. We don't need to expand on that one. Number 7, I am the happiest when I am disciplined and rigid in the core 4. So, the core 4 areas of my life: physical movement, alone time, EFT, and hydration. And when I am flexible with everything else. So, this is a realization that I've had in my last year of living that it was groundbreaking for me because as somebody who is neurodivergent and a Taurus woman and an Enneagram 8 and went through so much suppression from religion and everything, I have rebelled against structure and really struggled with that. This is actually a topic that's coming to the show soon. But we'll go deeper into that. But I struggled so much with structure. And so it's taken me time to really find my footing and like, where does structure have place in my life? Where does discipline and being rigid have place in my life? And where does the spontaneity and the flexibility and the like, woo, let's just go with the flow? Where does that come in ways that serve me deeply? And that's what I found, that I am truly the happiest when I am disciplined and rigid and do not flex in the core 4. So physical movement, moving my body, going to the gym, dancing in the living room, stretching if I can't get to the gym, and then having my alone time. So every week I take myself on a solo date. I get dressed up for me, not for a man. I get dressed up for me. I take myself out. I treat myself. I usually get a glass of champagne and a really good meal. Been really into salmon salads lately. Sometimes I get a steak or a burger, but I go somewhere nice and I take myself out and I adore myself. I spend time with myself. I read a lot. If my man is here, sometimes I just need a little alone time. And so I will have like we do this thing that I really like where I wish that Brian and I would have had the knowledge to do this with each other more when we were together because we just had a lot of trauma bonding and codependency in our relationship. And we're both really aware of that. And we talk about it pretty often, actually. But one thing that my man and I will do is he'll go in the living room and game with his buddies. And I will be in my room with a book or a show that I want to watch or a podcast and my coloring book, like just unwinding and doing things separate. Like And I feel like that may be very basic for so many of you, but for me and like the trad wife and like everything that I come from, that whole belief system, it's a revelation for me to be able to be in a happy, stable relationship and then like be together but not separate, but like separate. Like, does that make sense? Like separate but together, being in my own energy and not always sharing with somebody. Like, I love it. I love being alone. I live alone. Like I live with the kids full time, but like I live alone in terms of like not with a man. And so I'm alone more. I'm alone right now and it's amazing, but I'm alone more often now. But I really learned to protect that when it wasn't something that I got very often, and it's something that I need to be rigid in. And then EFT tapping, clearing the unwanted energy and emotions, and then bringing in the wanted energy and emotion, and being able to physically feel a shift after one round of tapping for like a few minutes is insane to me. It's so easy, it's so fast, it's so beneficial, and it's such a huge difference. Like, why would you not? So I do EFT every single morning, every single day. And then I'll do it as needed. Like if I have a disagreement with somebody and I'm frustrated, or I'm having an anxiety attack, or I'm angry or feeling something, or when I want to manifest something faster, I use EFT for all of those things as needed. But I'm regularly doing it every day. It's part of the Becoming Her daily ritual, because every day we are shifting out unwanted energy and emotion and bringing in desired energy and emotion. And then the fourth one of the core four is hydration. Like there is just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I lost my favorite water jug. So I just went out and bought like some plastic water bottles, which so I'm drinking out of that today, which I hate, but I'm not going to not hydrate. And this morning I had a glass of lemon water with some chia seeds in it to like get that hydration in, get some fiber. Like I am not going to fuck around with my hydration ever again, because it has made me like, being hydrated properly has made me so much less inflamed, so much more regular, so much more happy, so much more glowy, and I feel beautiful and I feel energized. Like they say it all the time for a reason, guys. It's a big deal. Number 8, skincare is actually really important to your quality of life and your confidence. I think I avoided skincare because I avoided my skin for so many years with the like horrible cystic acne. I have posted pictures. There's some at the top of my Instagram page right now, and on TikTok. Horrible cystic acne. Like I just avoided my skin altogether, but taking care of your skin and putting energy into your skin, like when you focus on your skin, you put attention and intention into it, it's going to heal, it's going to clear, and the good skin is going to expand. So um I learned that, and then I've just really noticed like how feminine and healthy and happy I feel when I'm on my skincare game. It really does make a big difference. I recently had a life coaching client that I was working with for about 6 months. And one thing that we did was she did not have a skincare routine at all. She didn't really have any products. She would just wash her face with like regular soap, and she didn't really like have anything. And it doesn't need to be expensive. I hooked her up with some stuff that you can just get at Target. And there was like a 3-step skincare routine, and huge difference. She loves it. She's obsessed with it. She started making content about it. So it really is important, and it really changes the game. Um, Number 9, I've been through some things. I've been through a really violent sexual assault. Um, I spent some time in the dating world, on the apps, in person, and I feel like something I've learned is that most men, not all men, most men, maybe many men, are unsafe. And to find a safe man is to find a king. And a true king will always make you feel safe and will always treat you like a queen. Number 10, if you communicate something clearly with emotion and he doesn't respond with actions, that is a very loud message being sent to you. Pay attention. 11, People who say food is better than sex, or like say that like, oh, this ice cream is better than sex or this food, like they are having really bad sex and they need to buy this book called Your Blueprint for Pleasure. Um, it's amazing. I recommend it to everybody. I'm going to link it in show notes. It's also in my Amazon storefront, which is in my Instagram bio link if you want to just click over there. Also, side note, maybe you just need a more suitable partner. And that is a perfect reason. It's an okay reason to leave if your person does not care about your pleasure at all. But I do feel like people that say that and like me like, oh, this is better than sex. I'm like, girl, you good? Like, let me let me get you a little book. Number 12. If you do it right, lip liner can be just as effective as lip filler. It's actually magic. Now, full disclaimer, I recently got a little bit of lip filler. I don't know how the wording is. I got like half of whatever, like a vial. I don't know what the word is, like the measurement. So I just got like a tiny little bit. Um, and so I do that with my lip liner magic. But like actually, like if you like go on TikTok and really learn how to line your lips properly, and like for your age, like there's a certain way to line it if you're like over 35 and like it's actually magic. Like I never wore lip liner until like this year and now I do not leave the house without it. Like even if I have no makeup on and I'm going to the gym, I put a little bit of lip liner and just like kind of it just accentuates and it's just so feminine and so pretty and soft and subtle when it's done right. I'm telling you, like, I don't know if I'll ever get lip filler again because I just learned how to line my lips so well. I don't think it's necessary, but like, yeah, it's actually magic. Number 13, and number 13 on purpose. Taylor Swift is a genius, period. No explanation needed. I am watching this woman and I'm just like fucking obsessed. Number 14, this is a big one. I've learned that money is a masculine energy. And when we heal our wounds caused by the masculine in our lives, so if the father wound, wounds around your relationship with men and sex as it relates to men, then you can receive more money than you ever have before. There is a program that I created based on this idea called Money Magnet Mastery. I highly recommend. I will link to it. And you know what? I'll also put a discount code. I'll put a discount code in there for you. I'm going to make a note to do that right now. Number 15. There is almost nothing that a nighttime drive with the windows down cannot fix. Okay. Simply put. Number 16. Everyone should be in therapy starting at age 13. It should just be standard. It should be fully covered by insurance. It should be fully covered, period. Everyone should be in therapy starting at 13 at the latest, period. End of sentence. I am putting all of my kids in therapy starting at the age of 12. So I have 3 kids who regularly go to therapy. My 2 oldest go once a month, and then my other son goes once a week right now because he's got some stuff going on at school and I want to make sure he's supported, and he just started because he's 12. So we go once a week in the beginning for a little bit and then we shift to just like at least once a month. Everyone should. I firmly believe it. I don't get all of the stigmas around it. I think it's complete bullshit. I think it's unhealthy. And I think everyone needs to have someone to talk to outside of their usual people, period. And that's just, again, this is all my opinion. Number 17, the best way to make an impact on people is to be your authentic self. I have learned this over and over again and have to keep learning it. So this seems to be maybe in like my astrological chart or something. Like, I don't remember if this has come up. I feel like it probably has, but there's got to be something where it's like part of my lesson or like my karmic contract or some shit to like something to do with authenticity, because I am a very authentic person and I feel very unauthentic if I don't tell every single thing. So I'm learning that to be authentic is not to spill your guts all the time, or like everyone doesn't need to know everything, but being authentic is being your authentic self. And I didn't know who that was and was unconsciously covering it for so long. So I'm really learning what it means to even be authentic in the first place. And as I step more into that, I'm making more of an impact. People are more responsive to me. It's just, it's very powerful. Number 18, splurge on the good lip balm and put one in every bag you own. Okay. For me, it's Summer Fridays. I also love just Aquaphor. I get the lip balm stick. That Summer Fridays and Aquaphor is in every single bag I own. It's in my car. It's all over the place. I splurged and it's worth it. Period. Number 19, walking is therapeutic. Just take a walk. Number 20, I've learned that most women are married to complete dicks. And that is because of my DMs proving it to me every day for over 8 years. I have a lot to teach my kids because of what I see in my line of work. And who you marry makes your life. My eyes have been opened to the world of men and what happens when you marry the wrong person, and not from my own life, from my DMs. It's insane. 21. I've learned that organization is a security that is worth the effort it takes to create. It is also, ironically, the antidote to a lot of neurodivergent problems. So the disorganized need to be organized, which kind of sucks. But once you figure it out, it's so worth it. But yeah, organization is it's a safety, it's security, it's a comfort, it's a help, it's a support that's worth the effort it takes for some of us to create. Number 22, astrology, not TikTok astrology, but the real ancient study of the planets and the stars, is really beautiful. The moment you took your first breath, the stars aligned for you and they tell a story about you and they offer you support. I mean, if that doesn't prove that there's something greater than us, I don't know what does. It's beautiful. And really learning to understand it is one of the best gifts I've ever experienced in my life so far. Number 23, your relationship with yourself is the most important one in your life. 100%. Number 24, boundaries are an act of self-love. And to struggle setting boundaries is to struggle with loving yourself. So if you have a hard time setting boundaries, maybe don't force yourself to set them right now. Maybe go within and get to know yourself, learn to like yourself, and fall in love with yourself. Because when you really love yourself, you're not going to let someone fuck with you like that. 25, you should have a place in your phone full of links to funny videos that you can quickly access during a bad day. Mine is full of videos of cats being scared of cucumbers. Okay, it's my happy place. It's a little life hack that's very powerful. 26, create little weekly traditions with your kids during summer break. It is so small and simple, but they love it so much. So like every Friday is pizza and movie night. Every Wednesday we go for a drive and we get milkshakes, like just these little things during the week. It doesn't even have to cost money, but like during summer break, that helped so much. So save that for next summer or the next holiday break. 27, I've learned to walk into every room as the most self-assured, grounded version of myself, even if I'm nervous. Because if you walk in like that, nobody's going to doubt you. It's a power move. 28, the energy in which you do something is far more important than the thing you are doing. Let me give you some examples. Drinking wine with good friends and enjoying yourself versus drinking wine because you are sad and had a bad day. The energy that you're in when you do something is going to have a much greater effect on you than the thing you're doing itself. And I did some research, and this is actually backed by science. So pretty interesting. 29, red light therapy 3 times a week for 15 minutes will literally change the way you look and lengthen your life. Facts. Number 30, people who do not know how to handle their jealousy may actively try to take you down. Let them do their thing and say their piece. but you hold your head high and keep going. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Number 31, any and every outfit can be elevated by adding some light jewelry. Number 32, lemon water all day, every day, period. Number 33, most of the time, the best response is no response at all. All the other times, the best response is a strong and direct one. Number 34, one of the smartest things a woman can do is to understand how to get and stay grounded. If you are grounded, honey, nobody can take that from you. Nobody can penetrate your energy field when you're grounded. Number 35, I've learned to always have fresh flowers in the house. Flowers feed compassion. They get rid of anxieties, worries, and the blues of being at home. I'm at home a lot. I work here. I'm here all the time. Living with flowers is scientifically proven to give you a boost of energy, happiness, more creativity, and enthusiasm. So, hell yes, we'll take it. Number 36. If you say you think it's time to call it and he doesn't fight to keep you, you made the right decision. And number 37, our final one. I've learned to connect with my inner guidance system once a day for a check in and to just ask, are there any messages that I need to hear? And I like to choose an activity that I always do and make that my time to do it. Mine is the shower. So every time I take a shower, I just take a second, I kind of go internal and I just check in with my intuition, my higher self, whatever you want to call it. And I just say, what do we need? Is there anything I need to hear? Anything I need to understand today? And I just listen for a few minutes. Sometimes there's not much. Sometimes it's just a feeling of peace. Sometimes I get clarity on something. Sometimes something strong comes through, but I'm always giving space to that. And I think that there's a lot of power in just that check-in. So thank you for listening to this. If you would like it, I have written out all 37 of these things and I included links to things that are recommendations. And some of the things, like I didn't even mention a recommendation in this episode, but they're in the PDF. So there are links to books, there are links to resources, there are links to videos and how to do something, how to begin learning about some of the things I mentioned, astrology, EFT, all of these things. So it's loaded. It's basically like a super juicy resource that I just made based on like life experience. It's like a life coaching pamphlet. So accidentally turned into like my favorite free resource I've ever made. So you can go and get that at alliecasazza.com/37 things. And it's 37 things, no dash, no space, alliecasazza.com/37 things. I love you. Thank you for sharing this episode. Thank you for leaving feedback. Thank you for leaving a positive review. And thank you for being in my community. Please hit me up on Instagram. Send me a DM. What resonated for you? What do you want more of? What do you need? I want to listen to you and I want to create what is going to support you. I love you. Bye.